Good morning, my app are back. Here's the plan. Definitely more of the same. You might want to consider taking a break. Go off on holiday for a week if COVID allows. Come back in a week or so. Mind you, if you do that, particularly if you do that today, you'll miss the first renderings we've got of some of the rooms inside. What will the rooms look like? Or at least the first ideas of what the rooms will look like, because what we have so far, they're not final, but they'll give you a pretty good sense of just a few of the rooms. What could possibly go wrong? Before we get into the internal appearance, what it might look like, let's carry on out here for a moment. I did make a mistake. On this wall, I said they might only go at a couple of sections further back, because in this corner we might at some point put another small building. I was wrong. Actually, they're going to extend the height all the way along, because it wasn't fully up to the heights that we were looking for. So we will have on this wall all the way back a 2.5 meter wall, plus, as we've said before, whatever we might stick on top of that to deter bad people. So they will continue along this wall today. Still on the front wall, we do not have any intention today of any further work. So this area where we have no top beam, at the end of the day, we will have no top beam. Not yet. They'll come back to that later. And the same, I believe, just here. They did pour these columns yesterday though, at the house. You know the drill. Rebar, scaffolding, supports, more wooden forms. You know the drill. That'll continue. One thing I did want to highlight though, because I'm not sure we've made it clear in the past, is here at the entrance. You can see there is a big hole in what is for now the roof. That will remain. What we will have here is a double height ceiling when you come in. If anybody has watched Graham's Cebu Philippine videos of his build, sorry about the noise, you'll see that he has something similar in his entrance, and I know you give up a little bit of floor space on the next floor, but I think the sense of space you get way more than compensates, and this is something we had in our designs from the beginning. So double height ceiling when you come in, and I'll show you one more area where it's the same thing. Okay, at the back of the house, this is what in the plan is called living area 2. It's kind of where we have the inside-outside, hopefully, feeling room. There'll be some fairly big doors here to allow as much light in as possible, and you know, some pretty basic seating in here that will hopefully give us a nice view out towards where the swimming pool will be. Point here is that this area with no roof, it's not going to remain like that. There will be quite a large bit of roof just here, but part of it, the part on this side, will also be left open up to the next floor. So again, hopefully it'll give a nice sense of space. It's not a huge open area, but it'll allow light in from above. And again, what we're hoping is not final yet, is that the roof, the final roof above, will have some kind of small area of glass ceiling or transparent ceiling to again allow light to come directly in. Whether we live to regret that later with the amount of heat that might generate remains to be seen. But this particular room, more than probably any other, we wanted to feel a little bit more natural light. We've got as much as we can throughout the house, but particularly here, and that double height small area of ceiling up on this side should help that, we think. One question I've asked this morning, and I haven't got an answer yet, it'll come, is what will be the final spacing between these supports? So this one and this one, for example, right now look to me like they're very roughly a metre apart, but we clearly have gaps all over the place where it's not a metre apart, and I don't know if a metre is the final spacing. I will let you know when I know. But I just wanted to understand a little bit more about how much support is needed before you pour concrete slab above. Right, it's just post-lunch, and team of 3 working on the south wall, and we're back to zipping along on walls here. They've done 3 sections so far today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 3 sections. They've taken up another 2 levels of concrete hollow block, and are going to continue that for the rest of the afternoon, along with, you know, whatever they need to do to tie into the columns front of the house. Juanito sat comfortably in the blazing heat. After yesterday's rain, we're back to being on the surface of the sun. So clearly from down here we can't see a lot. We'll probably have a go at getting the drone back up there in a little while. See if there's anything that is clearly different. I'm not sure how many. There's probably about 8 or 10 guys working up on top, and a couple more working inside downstairs. So we'll come back and have a look in a while. So the question earlier of how many supports do we need inside the house to hold up the slab? The engineer who's clutching his book has drawn it all out, and it turns out there will be a support in both directions every 1.2 meters, which means there will be 157 of them. There you go. More useless information. It's 4:40. What's wrong with this picture? And the noise. Yep, they're doing OT. Apparently they're going to keep doing OT for some time because there are some weather fronts moving in and they want to get as much of this upstairs preparation done as they can ahead of those weather fronts. I'm not sure how much time that gives them, but they are going to be, I think, pretty happy gentlemen because they like overtime. It means more money. They don't seem to mind doing a little bit more each day, and typically they'll go on till 6 when the light starts to fade. And it is the coolest time of day. So, we'll carry on. We won't head out just yet. We'll see if anything noticeable gets done in the next hour and 20 minutes. I'll zoom this in and hopefully you'll be able to see that at least some of the stirrups are now being bent beyond 90 degrees. I could possibly tell you if that's 135, but some of them are being bent over further, which is good news. I'm happy about that. I can't tell from here because of the angles, but the ones I can see where the rebar is bent at the top of the beam, they are, as far as I can see, they are actually all bent more than 90 degrees on this particular beam. I can't tell whether it's the stirrups that are bent at the bottom of the beam or connect, if you like, at the bottom of the beam. I can't tell if they are the same from here. Oh, actually, right in the corner there, if we can try and get that on the zoom, they are bent more than 90 degrees. It's 5:40. I suspect that the crew's ability to work in low light is probably better than the GoPro, which I've read is not very good. We'll find out soon. So here at the front wall and south wall, forms are off on the columns on this part, and they extended the wall by those extra 2 levels of concrete hollow block. I think up to yesterday they had 4 sections done, now they have 10. After that, it gets slightly slower because they're going to have to remove the top beam that was put there, put the concrete hollow blocks in, and then put the beam back. So it will slow down a little bit after today. So we're benefiting from a spotlight on both sides of the building, which is allowing these guys to carry on. They are now within 18 minutes of, I think, of overtime coming to an end. But we'll have to call it a day because I don't think we're going to be able to film for much longer. So there was, after all, a couple of extra bits in today. You got to see some of those interiors. Please do bear in mind, as I said at the beginning, they are not final. But they're probably fairly close to what we would like to see. And we got some drone in that hopefully didn't make you too dizzy. It made me dizzy when I filmed it. And what else have we got today? That's about it, I think. We'll call it a day for now and come back tomorrow morning if they hopefully all get a decent night's sleep. Start again at 7 AM. See you tomorrow.